Hey guys, in this video we're going to talk about parallel compression and how to use it different ways in your mix. So let's get into it. So I have an audio channel right here and I'm going to be dragging a sample, basically a drum groove that I think would be cool to be able to parallel compress. I want to pick a sound that doesn't have a kick. Yeah, this is pretty good. So let me drag it in. Let me change this pink color to orange. I usually have my drums in orange. This is a sample I took from Toolroom's sample pack. I have the APC40, and when I bought the APC40, a whole sample pack came with it, which is kind of cool so you can have fun with it. So I'll loop it. This is what it sounds like. Just basic EQing. So there's two ways of basically applying parallel compression. First of all, what is parallel compression? Parallel compression is when you're splitting the raw signal with a highly compressed signal. Like that, you get the punch of the high level compression, and at the same time, you get the looseness, the swing, the natural vibe of the performance itself. So mixing them together, which is why it's called parallel, allows you to get both the best worlds, right? So there's two ways of doing this. You could add the compressor directly on the channel strip, whether a group or a single channel. I use this a lot in terms of groups. This kind of represents a group because we have a lot of different instruments. I would never be using loops as is in production. I would have these individual instrument sounds, in this case hi-hat, clap, or perks on different channels. I'll group them together and I'll put the compressor on the group channel. Now for this example, I've just picked a loop that has all these sounds already printed in it, but it kind of plays the same role. This is the way I do it. Some people don't recommend to do it that way, and they do it another way where they send the signal to an aux group or return channel where they'll process the compression there, and that compression alongside the main signal is what makes it a parallel. The difference is, in that case, you can add different types of processing on your aux or your return channel. So you can have your compressed channel EQ'd differently. You could put reverb on it. You could put saturation on it. It allows you to process it further. If you were to put the compressor directly on it, like I do it, you can't really do that because whatever you process further down the line will affect both the dry signal and the compressed signal. I don't really care. I keep my mixing very bare bone. For me, it's all about finding an amazing sound to start off with in electronic music. Once you have a great sound, you lightly EQ it, you put a bit of processing, and you're there. I don't believe in having 80 VSTs just sitting on your mix just to make something sound good. I'll go back to the source, fix it in a synthesis if I can, and put whatever is necessary. Make sure whatever plugin you're using actually serves a proper purpose, and you'll see very quickly that you'll mix faster and better, and you won't need a spaceship to run all those plugins. So let's get started. For parallel compression, I like using the glue compressor, which is in the audio effects. I'll just drag it in. So now we see there's a couple of elements that is important to focus on. You might know what a compressor does, you might not, so I'll go over all the different options we have right here. And I'm not going to go too much in detail, just the important points. Because we're compressing drums, and because it's parallel compression, we want this plugin to activate immediately, capturing the immediate transients. So when you do a clap, there's a transient and there is the decay of the sound. We want that transient, the first second of that sound, to be affected as well. Therefore, we put the attack of the plugin super quick. What this means is when the threshold is hit, the time it takes for the plugin to activate is extremely fast. So it won't let the transient pass through before the plugin activates. The plugin will activate immediately or almost immediately, and it will affect the sound at source right away. Why is this important in parallel compression? Because you're passing 50% of the signal raw, you already have the raw signal regardless being heard. And if you're using the other 50% of the signal compressed, why don't you just heavily compress it? That's the concept of it. So fast attack, Leave the release as is for now. Put a ratio. You could do a ratio of 4, but it's better if you have a higher ratio. The higher, the better in some cases. Now we have a dial here, a meter. So the threshold, the more you lower it, the more you're lowering the threshold. That means whenever a signal passes this threshold level, the compressor kicks in, and the compressor kicks in, as I said before, as fast as the attack setting is set on. Once it kicks in, based on the ratio, you get a dip in volume or dynamic range, more dynamic range than volume. And then as soon as that function is done, based on the release information you've set, that's how fast the compressor closes. So if it's a fast release, the compressor will close much faster. If it's a slow release, it'll take much more time for the compressor to close. So again, there's a lot of reasons why you would want a fast or a slow release time on a compressor. Now, once you're testing things out, just raise the makeup gain a bit too. If you feel like the volume dropout is too heavy, you need to bring back some of the volume because you're losing a bit of dynamic range. Volume might seem to sound a bit less loud. So this is how I would, for example, use parallel compression. Fast attack, fast ratio, pretty heavy threshold. I want it to bounce between 5 and 10 decibels. Which is what it's doing. I'll add a bit of makeup gain. And the dry wet, because I want half the signal to be raw, I'll go 50%, meaning 50% of the output here is affected, meaning compressed. 50% just comes in and goes out without being touched. So best way to do this is just close your eyes, click on and off multiple times so you lose the notion of if it's on or off, and then you start rotating between them to see what's better. If you open your eyes and you realize that the processor being turned off sounded better, then you're better off just not having it or further adjusting it to get that, right? So this is one way. So in this case, whatever I add afterwards, both the dry and wet signal will be affected. That's why a lot of people prefer using this technique on the return channel or an aux channel, where you would keep pretty much the same settings, put it full wet this time because you already have a dry signal going to the master chain anyways. In this case, you want also another signal being bussed through to your return channel and going through this 100%. So you have, let's say, a 100% wet, a dry, and a 100% wet. So in this case, what you could do is you could control. Let me send it first, fully. I'll lower the volume just a bit. So right now it's only the dry signal, and I'm slowly going to bring in the wet signal, see what it's going to do to the sound. Cool thing with this is you could have a setting and pass a lot of different instruments that are not necessarily grouped together through the same type of parallel compression. That might be good or bad, so just try it out and see what works best for you. For some reason, because I like to keep things simple in my mixes, I just tend to put it on it right away. I don't want to process my compressed signal, the 50% of the compressed signal, further with different types of processing. If I want to put a saturator, I'll put a saturator on both signals, because I tend to put saturation lightly anyways. Whatever I do is mainly EQ based, light compression based, but overall getting properly crafted sounds during pre-production stage / sound design stage. So I don't have to heavily process stuff too much, and it's just the way I like to mix my music. So this is pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, just feel free. Parallel compression is very interesting, and there's a lot of different usages for it. So just keep on watching different videos about it, apply what you've learned here, and just, have fun with it. So if any comments or any questions, as usual, in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe if you like this video. See you soon.